Hey everybody, I'm back for part one of my Gouf custom build, and as you can see, I was actually able to get all of the outer armor pieces off on the kit, and I got them all stacked up right there. It came off a lot easier than I had originally thought. Like I stated in the video prior to this, I knew that I had glued this kit, but what I didn't realize that all I really glued was the inner frame together, which works out fine for me because I don't really need to take that apart to be able to paint it. So once I got it off, I'm actually kind of surprised at the amount of detail that this kit has for being such an older kit. If we kind of pull the head off here, there's a few vents and just a lot of places where if you wanted to take the time to, you could give it quite a bit of detail. It's kind of blank up here at the top, but if you look here on the chest, there's quite a bit of detail up here in the shoulders. Underneath the arms here, we can see some kind of like piston looking pieces. They're just molded. There's no actual articulation in them, but it still looks pretty cool if you were wanting to go through and paint it. Going here, taking a look at the legs, again, there's a fair amount of detail that I am going to paint and you know, try to show off it a little bit. It'll be kind of pointless, I guess, in some ways, painting it, because once the armor pieces get put on, you're not really going to notice it, but that's okay. I kind of want to go through it. I've wanted to do that on a kit for a really long time and haven't really gotten the chance to. So, like I say, the outer armor came off pretty easily. I did break a few spots. You can see right here and up there, this whole back skirt came off, but I did break those, so that's not so bad. And I got, like you can see up here, some pretty good detail in the backpack, so I'm going to have a lot of fun painting that. What I think I'm going to do is go with a darker color for the inner frame. I'm not going to primer this first, just because once you primer it and then paint it, you've got a couple of coats of paint on there, and it's going to make for making stuff really tight. So I don't really want to do that. So I think I'm going to do one coat, and I'm probably going to do it in like a flat black, I think. And then I'm going to go across and start highlighting all the detail, like, you know, here in the arms you can kind of see like some little vents and tubes and you know, things like that. You can see there's kind of some gnarly seams on this guy. But again, these pieces are all going to get covered up, so I'm really not going to stress too much about trying to get those covered. But I definitely want to do what I can to highlight the inner details for this kit. So that is it, I guess, for the inner frame. What I need to do now is a lot of these pieces you can see here still have some decals on them. So I'm going to go through this kit, scrape off all the decals, and then there's some pieces like right here. I think this is before I was as gentle, or trying to be a little bit more gentle getting pieces off. So on some of these pieces I am going to sand it down and try to fill them in with a little bit of putty to make it look a little bit smoother. Here is my drum, and as you can see, that mouse did a little bit of damage to it. So I'm going to get all this filled in with putty and then just let it sit there and dry for like a day, and then go around it and sand it and try to fill it out a little bit more. I'm trying to find where this piece, yeah, it was this piece. This piece on the kit goes on right up here. Let me pull this off. This piece goes on right here. And when I was pulling these pieces off, I looked in here, and it's kind of hard to make out. You can see a little bit left right here and a little bit left up there. But some spider or something built a little nest in there and had been camping out inside of my model kit while I was sitting out in the barn. So that was kind of surprising to find. It was empty, fortunately, when I found it. So yeah, so I need to get these decals here scraped off. And I had talked about it beforehand that I was going to keep this kit in the same colors because I wanted to. What I kind of started realizing, though, is that I am kind of making this kit like all around, you know, kind of custom for what it really is. And I want to have an original kit that was completely built like from the ground up and painted just like this. But because I'm doing something a little different with this kit, I think I am going to go ahead and try to do a different color scheme. And what I'm kind of thinking is to have the outer armor in like some darker, like really dark grays, light grays, and maybe some black and white. And then on the additional pieces I'm doing, like the emblems, I kind of got started here on one of them. It's kind of hard to see. Do it like that. Maybe that might look a little easier to see there. This is just my first effort of trying to make one, but what I think I want to do is maybe try to have the emblems in like a gold or yellow color. I don't really know. I'm still trying to think about what I want to do, but let me get that tightened down here first. Okay. So since I have that emblem, here's the piece that's going to sit on the front of the shield. It kind of pops on there like that. And what I do want to do, if I am doing some different colors, I certainly though want to keep the separation the same. No, I can't get it off. I want to keep like the part color separation the same. So I don't want to have like the whole shield gray, but you know, maybe have this piece gray and this piece black or something to that effect. But here's my first effort at trying to cut one of these emblems out, and then it would just kind of be glued on like that, and then I can get this whole piece painted in the color I want, and then just go over this with like a brush and highlight that in maybe like a yellow color. I think would look kind of cool to kind of stand out. So that's just the first piece I've tried. I still need to go on and kind of make the collar that's actually going to go probably on top of these pieces and have the collar like right there on the inside. So I still got quite a bit to do, but what I'm going to do now is get my inner frame, at least while the weather is halfway decent, get it coated in some primer, or not primer, excuse me, black, and then start doing some of the brushing details on this. So let's take a look at it with its black primer. Alright, and here is just a quick look to wrap this video up of what the kit's inner frame is going to look like, covered in a flat black. And if you notice down here, I took these panels off over here, kind of revealing some of the inner piping and stuff in there, but not over on this one because it looks like I did glue that one in place, but these ones came off. So I think the flat black is going to look kind of nice compared to like the golds and kind of chrome aluminum colors that I'm going to try to add to the detail of this guy. So that should look pretty nice. That'll be later on though, once I get this thing to finally dry. It's dry enough to touch, but it's got just a little bit of tackiness to it, so I want it just to sit there maybe overnight and let it get a good amount of time in to dry. So also on here I got some putty on a few pieces that I wanted to try out, and I'm also trying something with the other skirt armor. This area really wasn't that bad on it, so I've got a little bit of gray primer on there just to see what that's going to look like. But anyways, I think that'll wrap this video up. On the next segment, I'm going to go into painting all of the detail on the inner frame, and I think the video after that will start working on the outer armor. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you at the next video.